Hello dear students, myself Santoshi teacher. We are going to begin with science chapter number 7, metals and non-metals of standard 8. Children, let's recall what are the three types in which the elements are generally classified. Elements are classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids. What are the metals and non-metals that we use in everyday life? Children, there is a huge list of metals and non-metals and each of them have countless uses in our day-to-day life. Then also we will see which metals we are using in everyday life. Mostly metals like aluminium, copper, steel, stainless steel, iron, etc. Non-metals like iodine, oxygen, chlorine, etc. All the objects or materials in the world are made from elements, compounds, or their mixtures. Scientists classified all the elements into three general types, which are metals, non-metals, and others we can tell metalloids. So three groups or three types, which are metals, non-metals and metalloids. When scientists started discovering elements, when they discovered the elements, they felt the need to make these elements groups. It can be done by grouping them by studying their physical and chemical properties. Metals: gold, silver, iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, platinum are few metals. Metals are found in the form of minerals deep inside the earth. Minerals from the earth crust are processed to obtain the metals. In daily life, metals have various important uses. See, physical properties of metals: luster, hardness, malleability, ductility, sonority, conduction of heat, conduction of electricity. We will see in details. Physical properties of metals. Under ordinary temperature, metals stay in solid state. Means under room temperature, metals are in solid state. However, metals like mercury and gallium are exceptions, which are in liquid state even at room temperature. That is, children, around you, if you will observe, without applying any heat, all the metals would be in solid state. Generally, metals are in solid state. But some exceptions are there, like mercury and gallium are in liquid state. Can you recall? You might have seen a doctor's pressure gauge to measure blood pressure during your visit to a dispensary, accompanying your relative. In that, you might have seen a grey color liquid in a glass tube. What is that metal? Children, when doctor use that blood pressure monitoring device or blood pressure gauge, or we can tell blood pressure instrument, in that what metal is used? This is the question. In that metal is mercury. Mercury is used in that blood pressure monitoring device. See the exceptions. Other exceptions we will see afterward, but first of all, see your right hand side. Iron, copper are in solid state. Mercury and gallium are in liquid state. Next physical property of metals is luster. Luster. You must have seen the copper vessels at home. You use it for cooking at home. Take copper vessel at your home, scrub them with lemon and rinse with water. Observe the luster before and after cleaning. Light get reflected from the clean or freshly cut surface of metal and the metal looks lustrous. What is luster? Luster is the shine, Metals have a typical shine or luster. Every metal has a characteristic color by which it can be identified. Metals, this luster property is called shine. Ornaments are mostly made of gold or silver. Do they have shining surface? Yes. Even the aluminium utensil in the kitchen, does it shine? Yes. Both gold and aluminium have a certain shine. You know what it is called? It is metallic luster. Next property of metal is hardness. Generally, metals are hard, not soft. There are exceptions to these rules as well. Usually, when you see metals around you, like iron, aluminium, copper, steel, try to cut with knife. See, you will not able to do so. But if you take sodium and potassium, they are very soft and that can easily cut with knife. See this in this picture, non-metals are soft, rubber. Try to cut rubber with knife. It must be very easy. Thus, non-metals are soft. So, we can tell hardness as a generally metals are hard, not soft, and exceptions are there like sodium and potassium are soft and can be easily cut by a knife. See here other exceptions. Generally metals look lustrous, but iodine is non-metal and is also have shine, luster. And see on the other side, metals are hard, but non-metal like diamond is the hardest substance. So we already finished all these in whatever exceptions given in this picture. Now next property of metal is ductility. Have you ever gone to a goldsmith shop? Goldsmith is a person who makes the jewelry out of gold, silver, platinum, etc. I think you must have observed. Have you seen the goldsmith making a wire of gold or silver? Yes. You must have observed that goldsmith make chain, earrings, necklaces using very thin wire of gold or silver. This is made because of gold have a property of ductility. When metal is pulled through a hole, its wire is formed. See in this picture, one machine is there. So when metal is pulled through a hole, a very thin wire is formed. And you can see this roll. Okay, you can define in other words like ductility definition, metal can be stretched and drawn into wires. This property of metal is called ductility. And metals like silver, gold, copper, platinum can be drawn into very fine wires. So ductility is a property when metal is pulled through a hole, its wire is formed. This property of metal is called ductility. Next property of metal is malleability. Take an iron nail, place it on a platform and keep on hammering it. If you observe this experiment on metal, after hammering on a metal, it will not break but rather becomes flat. So after some time you will see a thin sheet forming. This property is called malleability of metals. So we can define the malleability like on hammering repeatedly the wires become flat, that is it forms a thin sheet. Metals can be converted into sheets by hammering. This property of metal is called malleability. Next property of metal is conduction of heat. So take first of all, after heating metal, heat easily distributed entirely over throughout the metal and entire metal start to heat up, that is it become warm. So take a here we will do one experiment. Take a copper plate, fix some wax at one of its ends, heat the other end and observe what happens. See, I put the one wax candle wax here. Okay, now give the heat on this point. What will happen? The heat will pass from one end to the other end and this wax will start to melt. I hope you are clear with this topic. So metals are good conductor of heat. Silver, copper and aluminium are the best conductor of heat. Even when a piece of metal is heated at one end, the whole of it becomes hot. It shows that metals allow heat to flow through them. This property is called thermal conductivity or conduction of heat. This concept is called conduction of heat. This is the physical property of metal. Next property of metal is conduction of electricity. Means electrical conductivity. Electricity flows through metals. All metals are conductors of electricity to a greater or lesser extent. This property is called electrical conductivity. Children, tell me which metals are used to make electrical wires? Copper and aluminium are used to make electrical wires. Metals are good conductors of electricity. Lead is an exception. Lead is not a good conductor of heat also and not a good conductor of electricity. See, metals are good conductor of electricity. Observe this activity. Iron nail. Iron nail is a metal. Observe these four materials names are given. We will find out whether they are good conductor or bad conductor. Iron nail is the metal that is good conductor of electricity. Then sulfur is a bad conductor. Then coal piece is the bad conductor, non-metal it is. Copper wire, it is a metal, copper is a metal and it is a good conductor of electricity. Next property of metal is density. Metals have high density. Density is equal to mass upon volume. We learn in the previous chapter, children. Remember, metals have high density. Different types of substances, that density always compare with water. Usually metals have high density and placed in water they sink. But there is an exception. Sodium, potassium and lithium have low density than water. Therefore, if you place these elements or these metals in water, it will float above water because the density of water is more than these metals. Density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter and the density of lithium is only 0.53 gram per centimeter cube or cubic centimeter, is very low. So this lithium also will float on water. All these three elements or metals, sodium, potassium and lithium, have low density than water and therefore if you place in water these metals in water, it will float above water. Next physical property of metal is melting point and boiling point. Generally metals have high melting point and boiling point. That is, in order for the metals to become a liquid and starts to boil, a very high temperature is used or required. Similarly, for metals to melt, a very high temperature required. But there are an exception. Hg is the symbol of mercury. Then gallium, Ga is the symbol for gallium. Na is the symbol of sodium and K is for potassium. These four elements have relatively low melting point and boiling point. In short, metals have high melting point and boiling point and exceptions are mercury, gallium, sodium and potassium. Next physical property of metal is sonority. What is the metal that your school bell is made of? How does a bell is function? You must have observed children, our school bell, when the school bell rings, there is a metal that is again and again the hitting the school bell and because of that the noise is produced. So, metals have the property in which after striking or hitting it, they produce sound. Metals produce ringing sound. This property is called the sonority of metals. Metals are sonorous. They produce sound on striking. Non-metals can't produce sound. I hope you are clear with the physical properties of metals. Thank you, children.